Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Good special broadcast late evening, just past sunset on this Friday, mid-August, late summer, on this increasingly light night as the moon rises in the sky and we get closer to the midnight hour here in the greater Roseville metropolitan area in the great state of Michigan. And we're looking at some Aurora cannabis. We had a little subscriber request about some pot stocks because the man loves his weed and invests in his weed stocks, right? And we've been getting hammered apparently in the weed stocks that I do not follow. Aurora cannabis, you can see, is in the shitter. It's consolidating. All these weed stocks have been in a multi-year bear market, and this thing is continuing to get rejected, but I don't think he's got this. Fuck, I don't remember which one he's got. But the whole cannabis market, cannabis growth, has been out for a while. And you can see it pumped up huge after. I remember the big pump back here, where you essentially formed a big rising channel. See that? And it's actually right there. You peek out every now and then, but the technical target when you break down on a rising channel is the bottom of the channel. And you can see you hit that technical target at the bottom of the channel. Then you had another phenomenal pump that must be what everyone's talking about. It's crashing now. It is crashing. But if you believe in any of these coins or any of these companies, now would be the time to be buying more when they're way the fuck down after they came way up. I don't know enough about any of these to say if any of them are good or not. The big bubble that crypto's going through right now is the same thing Canopy Growth, Aurora Cannabis, Tilray, and all these other ones did in here in 17 and 18. The cannabis sector had a huge bull market and a blow off top. So I don't know if any of these will ever be sustained above that unless you actually have a good company. But like say this one, Canopy Growth, if you break below, with our industry exclusive price label, if you break below $14, you're fucked. You're going to the shit house. And oh yeah, the shit house is in the weed sector too. The shit house down here is way the fuck down here, and we know the shit house is red, so we're gonna make it red, right? Shit house is down there. If you break that $14.73 level, you're coming down at least to the bottom. But the shit house is we clone this. If you break that $14 level, you're coming down to retest that $9 mark in Canopy Growth. Or if you can get a nice bounce here, you can start trading back up, right? But if we look at the volume, you can see the volume. We had our big spike back here in 2017 and 18 when we had that big pump in price. And since then, the volume's been crashing. We had a nice little peak there early this year. But overall, the volume's down. That's bearish. I think the overall crypto market, or the overall pot stocks in the high market, the stoner market, I think they're going to just continue to crash. Same thing with Tilray. I remember this thing when it IPO'd back here. I think it was like October of 2018, August, July. Yeah, August, September, October. This thing skyrocketed from no money all the way up here to like $320. I think intraday it got to. It was a phenomenal pump, but it was all hype and there was nothing behind this company to back it up. And since then, it's crashed. And with our industry exclusive measuring tool, come on, get up there. It's down at current price, 93%. And this is indicative of the rest of the crypto market too. Or the rest of the... Fuck, I'm so used to talking about crypto. The rest of the pot stocks did the same thing in the cannabis sector. They had that big bull run and big bubble that blew up. In 17 and 18, it peaked and climaxed. And since then, it's been all down. And pick any pot stock, they all look the same. They pumped in 17 and 18, and they've crashed since. And then they all will have this recent little pump here. Now, if I'm day trading any of these stocks after that huge wick where this thing got up to $70 and now it's completely lost it all, it's back to almost where it started. This is where you could see somewhere in this area, you could see a big pop for a nice gain for a swing trade or a day trade. But long term, I am not very big into the said to be a 400% gain. I'm not that heavily. I have no money in the pot sector. I'm not that big on any of these companies. There might be one or two out there, but for the most part, none of these companies can rationally explain any of these valuations that any of these stocks that you can look up that got way up here in the $200, $300, Tilray, cannabis, or any of this shit, right? Or ACB, or a cannabis that's got stock split a few thousand times, right? Moving along to the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's coming down a little bit. Everyone's all happy. Had this huge pump. We almost peaked out of oh no. See, that's way back. Look at that. Our track was telling us that we had to come down, and we do have a big November crash coming across the cryptos, and this is setting it up with a huge rising wedge. And this is when you hear bull trap. This is what a real bull trap is. When you're in a bear market that we are in, some of the biggest moves in a bear market are pumps to the upside, and those are bull traps. And this is an ultimate bull trap, and it's giving you signs, and I'm going to diagnose, sniff out, and detect this for you in Bitcoin. It's giving you signs on all of these pumps in the weekly time frame. You have big wicks, which means heavy sell pressure. In the weekly, move to the daily, right? You can even tighten this rising wedge up. And it's setting up for a huge crash, because as soon as you break, I got too many of these on here. As soon as you break,
what I learned? Yes. What did you learn?
I gotta get that out. That's what's fucking this up. Get that out. As soon as you break this 46,661 lower support of this rising wedge, the target to move out of that is the bottom of the wedge, and that brings us almost all the way to our lower support at $27,826.92 that I've been advertising as this pump started, that this thing will eventually have a huge crash down to here to start our new consolidation range before a big November crash. So you do have, with our industry exclusive measuring tool, you have approximately a 44.24% crash coming in Bitcoin, and that'll be across the board. As you can see, anybody with a brain, the volume is crashing. That means this pump cannot be sustained, and it's going to roll over. And as we know, Vincenzo's been advertising, after we crash, we're going to be consolidating into this pattern, descending triangle, and then we're going to have a huge November crash that brings us down all the way to $10,000. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, and I'll help you sidestep the criminal gangster cartel, the Ohio State University. Peace and love. Peace and love.